These are two of the best modern T-style guitars available right now. But which one's better? On paper there aren't many differences between the Chapman ML3 Pro Modern and the Harley Benton Fusion T EMG, so I think we should put them in the ring and let them battle it out together to find out who's the champion. And hopefully no one's mum puts a stop to it. Aside from them both being metal focused tellies, they're both kitted out with locking tuners, Graphtec nuts, roasted maple necks, 24 stainless steel frets, luminescent side dots, modern humbuckers, fixed hip shot style bridges, satin finishers, modern body carves and reverse headstocks. The obvious difference though is the price. The Harley Benton weighs in currently at £388 while the Chapman is £874. However, I got this for an absolute steal at £449 used and in fantastic condition, which definitely evens the playing field, but will it be enough? Also, this is going to be a fair fight. Full transparency, both companies have seen my videos on their guitars, but Chapman specifically got in touch to see if I wanted to try out some of their other models. But I'm not affiliated with either company in any way. Chapman know I'm making this video and that I'm going to be completely honest because I bought both of these guitars with my own money, so I can say what I want. Round 1, specs and build quality. It's safe to say that both these modern takes on a traditional T-style shape look awesome. One's stealthy and the other one's a statement, but they're both clean and contoured with satin finishes complemented by deliciously roasted maple necks.
Genuine chef's kiss.
The flame maple on the Harley Benton is a really nice touch and adds a little bit of class to an otherwise metal guitar, but the roast is very dark. Not quite left a pizza in the oven and fell asleep kind of dark, but it's not far off. The Chapman's roasted maple though is like pretty much the ideal colour in my opinion, that like super sweet amber, and it looks outstanding next to this liquid teal finish. And let's talk about the finishes while we're on it because this needs mentioning. The Harley Benton Fusion T EMG only comes in black, whereas the Chapman comes in a load of different finishes that all look awesome. And also the quality of the finish on the Chapman is just so much higher. It feels noticeably more durable than this finish, and if you watch the video on this guitar you'll know that there have been a lot of reports online about the finish on this guitar chipping super easily. Now I can't speak for that yet because thankfully I haven't bashed this thing on anything, touch wood, but what I will say is it does show wear far more quickly than the Chapman does. When it comes to the blacked out hardware it looks absolutely dope on both these guitars, but what I do need to say is there are some marked differences in the quality of some parts. Having locking tuners on both these guitars is a top tier choice, but the Harley Benton does have own brand locking tuners, whereas the Chapman has genuine Hipshot units. They work great on both, but Hipshot make awesome stuff. They're incredibly secure, really responsive, and the Fusion's locking tuners aren't as good in that department. They're more than usable, but just not quite there. And the Hipshot bridges are both really solid, but the Chapman wins out there too, dude. Actually, I thought that this was a genuine Hipshot unit when I reviewed this guitar until I checked my notes, so that speaks to the quality of Chapman's OEM parts. In terms of build quality, both guitars nail it relative to what you pay for them. I stand by the fact that the Fusion has fantastic build quality for the price you pay, and it's got specs to match because it's constructed well, it's tidy, and it's just a great mid-tier instrument. The Chapman though, like, you immediately know what you're paying for. The set through neck construction, the high level of finish, and the attention to detail just make it feel super high-end. And while these two opponents are getting ready for the next round, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you, dude. I appreciate you being here. If you find this video entertaining or helpful at any point, feel free to like right up the like button, or just click it if you're a lover not a fighter, because it helps YouTube know to spread it to other awesome people like yourself. And if you want to subscribe and stick around, I would absolutely love to have you here. Thank you again, my dude. It's time for round 2. Round 2 is comfort and playability. The first round's probably going to be quite an hard one for the judges to score, but when it comes to playability, I don't even think it's going to be close, though I do need to get something out of the way first. I absolutely love Telecasters, but I just don't find them super comfortable because of how I choose to sit. I have the same problem with both these guitars, and it's that they jab me in the chest a little bit when I sit and play, and that's totally my fault. I just have to sit like this to stop my arms shattering into a million pieces. It is what it is. Getting into the biggest reason that this isn't even going to be close, the set through neck construction on the ML3 is just absolutely perfect, dude. This is 100% the best way to connect a neck to a body for playability. It makes playing way beyond the 15th fret absolutely effortless, so if you like playing up there then this is going to be something you'll appreciate. The Fusion does have a good crack at it though. Harley Benton have made a genuine effort to increase upper fret access and it is good, but like, how could it compare to not having an neck heel at all? It just can't. Another massive thing is the difference in the necks themselves, and this is where it gets kinda silly. The Harley Benton apparently has a modern C neck profile that feels like an absolute bat, whereas the Chapman's got a traditional C profile that only feels a little bit bigger than a modern C. Make it make sense. The long and short of it is that Harley Benton have just been super liberal with their use of the word modern when it comes to describing their neck profile, probably for marketing reasons. It's just not a modern feeling neck profile at all. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad feeling neck, but if you don't like big ass necks, then the Fusion isn't for you. You will probably hate it. But it's not just the size that matters, or so I'm told. It's the feel too. If there's just one thing that puts the Chapman above the Fusion, and probably loads of other guitars I've tried, it's just how good the neck feels. The satin finish roasted maple on this guitar feels so good to play on, dude. There's little to no resistance when you're darting around the board, and when you couple that with a slick Macassar ebony board, stainless steel frets that have got like the highest level of polishing and finishing imaginable, it's just a super high-end playing experience. The cool thing about the Harley Benton is that it does have stainless steel frets and they feel good now, but they do need a little bit of playing in. Or you can do what I did and get a Dunlop fret polishing cloth. Other polishing items are available for purchase, and give them a once over when you give it a restring or a setup. After that, they're going to be as smooth as you need, but the one thing the board and frets are missing is the care and attention that's been put into the ML3. The Fusion's fretboard edges are very slightly rounded over, and the quality of the fretwork is great for a guitar of this price, but it's just not as good as the Chapman. Also, the back of the neck is not as well finished as on the ML3. It's not like sandpaper by any means, but I just put it down to the materials used not being as high a quality. Round 3, sound. The deciding round, and this one is going to be super close to call. The Fusion is kitted out with EMG Hot 70s retroactive pickups, whereas the Chapman's got the Sentient and Pegasus passive set from Seymour Duncan, two of the absolute biggest names in the pickup world, especially for metal. I'm going to need your help on this one to decide, because I really like both of these pickup sets a lot. EMG are my favourite active pickup brand for a lot of different reasons, but this particular set's got like a passive thing that I really like. But I'm a big fan of Seymour Duncan and they're my top choice for passive pickups, so like, I can't choose. These EMGs have got a lot of punch and like that classic EMG voicing that makes harder styles of guitar playing sound great, but the passive tonality to these pickups gives them more of a classic tone. The Duncans, however, are super modern sounding with a lot of percussiveness and dynamic range that really lends itself to more modern guitar playing where you'd need a bit more bite. My gut is telling me that I like this set of Seymour Duncans a little bit more than the EMGs. The dynamics and clarity just tip it for me, and this set is far better for recording, but I tell you what, let's just let them duke it out and you can tell me which guitar sounds best in the comments. And that's the bell, dudes. After going the distance with both these guitars, it comes down to us to score the bout, and I've got some thoughts. The Harley Benton put up a strong performance in all categories with its impressive specs, stealthy looks and great sound, all for 388 quid. It's hard to deny that this guitar has the potential to be a metal telly that could be in anybody's guitar collection, but it has got one big problem that I think cost it the fight. The overall feel of this guitar, due to the quality of the materials used, the standard of finishing and just the overall lower attention to detail, I think means it falls short of its opponent. The Chapman overall is just a crisp and awesome playing experience. From the moment you pick it up, you can tell it's a quality instrument, from the incredible feeling neck to the beautiful finish, and then that absolutely epic set through neck heel. Yeah, it's the more expensive guitar out of the two, so you should rightly expect the quality to be higher, higher, but it's so much higher that even with similar specs to the Fusion, it still definitely comes out on top for me. And if you're lucky enough to scoop one of these up used like I did for 450 quid, then there is absolutely no contest, dude. I would pick this every single time. But the final score comes down to you, dude. After such a close fight, which guitar do you think deserves to win? Drop your scores in the comments below, and if you want to know my in-depth thoughts on each of these guitars, you can check out these videos here. Thank you for watching, my dudes. I appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you think. Take care, mate. Stay safe. I'll see you later. But the Harley Benton, and get a Jim Dunlop, a spat, the Seymour Duncan, Sentient and Pegasus, ha, ho, hey, hello, 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 hello. Seems to be a bit better. Maybe not. Who knows? I don't know why I even use this compressor. Bollocks. The Fusion is kitted out. The Fusion is Sentient and Pegasus. That's so hard to say. A modern sounding with a lot of words. Speak the right words, idiot. And then just this successfully filmed. Successfully filmed.